He says they are bringing more reinforcement to stop this Russian advance.
Well, let's get more. Let's speak to Yuriy Sak, advisor to Ukraine's Ministry of Strategic Industries. He's live for us there in Kyiv. Yuriy Sak, welcome to the programme. What is your understanding about the scale of the Russian bombardment and the intensity of fighting?
Good evening. The scale of the Russian bombardment of the Kharkiv region and actually the Kharkiv city, which is, like you said, the second largest city in Ukraine, it's staggering. Just during yesterday, the small city of Vovchansk, which before the war used to have about 20,000 people, most of whom, of course, have left since, but just yesterday, they were the target of 22 bombardments by the glide bombs, let alone the incessant and non-stop artillery shelling, multi-launch rocket systems, and so on and so forth. So for quite some time, areas which are near the border with the Russian Federation, of course, they have been made pretty much uninhabitable.
Now, the roadblock in the US Congress for weapons and support, that has finally gone. How quickly do you hope to actually get what you need, and what do you need most?
It is indeed a very significant development, and during the last 2 years, Ukraine, together with our partners in the West, have been able to set up very robust and solid logistics and supply systems. So some of the weapons that has been pledged is already arriving in Ukraine, and we can feel the difference on the front lines, because before, just 2 weeks ago, the ratio, for example, artillery shelling was 1 to 10 in favor of the Russians, but now this is quickly changing, and actually the reinforcements that we are sending now to stall the Russian advances near the Kharkiv region and near the Kharkiv city, these reinforcements are equipped sufficiently with the necessary weapons, and we are confident that we will succeed.
You must be alarmed, though. I said in the introduction, if you get within 30 kilometres of Kharkiv, then all of what you were describing that is happening to the villages will happen to that second city, the raining of bombardments and artillery shelling. How close do you think you are to that actually happening?
Well, first of all, I have to stress that every time Russians are trying to advance, they are losing their soldiers by the thousands. I mean, this was the case in Avdiivka, in Bakhmut, in Severodonetsk. And we have to remember that Russians were trying to actually take full control of Donetsk and Luhansk region now for more than 2 years. And because they were unable to do that, they're now trying to stretch our armed forces and to make us relocate our reserves to the Kharkiv region. But again, we know about their terrorist strategy. We know that they don't have the sufficient amount of troops near the Kharkiv border to pose a considerable threat to, for example, yes, Kharkiv city. And we will continue to find, and we will continue to hold the lines.
Yes, there are obviously been heavy Russian losses, but also heavy Ukrainian losses. President Zelensky had anticipated this Russian summer push, but Ukraine extended the age of mobilization. Are you sure you're ready and able to actually push back what you are expecting from Moscow?
The newly adopted law on mobilization makes the procedure more transparent, more fair, more predictable. And actually, this law will come into force just in a few days' time on May the 18th. Everybody who will be recruited from that moment on will undergo sufficient training. And of course, we are confident that, our army will be well equipped and well positioned. But of course, a lot will depend on the pace at which we continue to receive the military support from our allies. And at the same time, we are building up our own defense industry base. And just in the last couple of months, we have targeted, as you know, more than 40 Russian oil refineries and depots. Now, yes, this is also degrading Russian war capability.
Yuriy Sak, live there in Kyiv. Thanks for your time. Thanks for joining us here on BBC News.